Hey guys, what's up? It's Joe Rady from Rady's Rides. I'm back at Fitzgerald Hyundai here in Clearwater, Florida, and guess what? We have the Genesis that I know that you love. This is a 2020 Genesis G80. Let's talk a little bit about Genesis. Remember, Genesis originally was just a model in Hyundai's lineup. Eventually, Hyundai decided, you know what? We want to create an upscale brand called Genesis. Since then, they've been slowly building upon success after success. And now with the G80, it's a great mid-size segment sedan to go up against the big brands from Audi, Mercedes-Benz, BMW, Lexus, so on and so forth. Now, what's wonderful about the 2020 G80 is that this is the last year of this setup. What that means is you still get 3 engine options: a naturally aspirated V6, a twin turbo V6, and a naturally aspirated V8. With the redesign, they're saying that the V8 will go bye-bye, but I think what we have for you with this G80 Sport is the sweet spot with that twin turbo goodness of a V6 underneath the hood. But why don't we go ahead, dive into this 2020 Genesis G80 and really try to answer a question: should you forego even looking at all those other brands and pick one of these up at a bang up kind of price? Let's dive in. Right off the bat, I love the styling. Very, very upscale feel, fit, and finish. What I've noticed is with a lot of people that have gone to those other brands, they're now wanting a Genesis. It's not just a bunch of advertisement hoopla. It's a real deal. People are starting to look at this as a true upscale luxury car. Great value, great reliability, and style. Speaking of style, love the headlight design, full LED lighting. Really think it was smart the way that they kind of wrap around the daytime running lamp. And look at the headlight design, very intricate in detail. There's a little bit of a bronze copperish hue to the interior pieces. Everything else is blacked out, looks really, really nicely done. Now, as we work our way down, guess what? It's functional. We have some function to these air intakes. Functional side air curtain. I love the black chrome. The black chrome really just fits perfect. You can see the extra style that goes in the front fascia for aerodynamics. As we come across the front, there's that Genesis badge. Now, I know a lot of you have said, hey, that looks a lot like a Bentley badge or an Aston Martin. Well, guess what? Imitation is the greatest form of flattery, but I think it's a very tasteful badge. I like the black design, and the wings really gives it a wonderful look. You have that black chrome grille, front-facing camera, a lot of open area with the grille, but you do have this section here, which I am gonna zonk because that's where all that radar technology and laser technology for the adaptive cruise control, lane keep assist is hiding. They did a pretty good job to kind of blend it in, but you could still clearly see where the rectangle is. Love the copper and the black chrome, and even the lower grille section, very, very nicely done. You can see the large intercooler. Remember, this is a twin turbocharged intercooled V6. Really like even the lower lip spoiler. Very, very classy, nothing too obnoxious. Now, when we get up onto the hood, 2 very powerful lines. One on this corner, one on the other, gives it simplistic, but yet personality all at the same time. When we wrap around the bend, check out this wheel and tire combo. So on the Sport, this is the wheel style. I really like the design. Massive calipers, flat black with the Genesis logo on there, which is a very nice touch. Now, looking at this setup, what we're actually finding is that this is, believe it or not, an 18-inch wheel. I thought it was a 19-inch wheel. It actually looks a little bigger than what you would think, but very large rotor there, fully ventilated, very nice touch, really matches well with the black. Now, as we go down the fender, no fake Pep Boys vents or anything that looks just like garbage, very clean. I love the style on the headlight design, very slim and trim on the LED side mirrors here. The nice black chrome goes all the way around the top and the bottom. And what's nice is when you lock this up, the mirrors tilt in so nobody bangs into them as they're getting in and out of their car. You do have a panoramic sunroof, and everything is blacked out up top. Very classy. I even like the fine details in the door handles. Things were thought through with this car. The black chrome along the bottom with the belt line, the sill pops out just a tad. And as we go towards the rear fender, I like the way that the quarter window, the treatment kind of extends. look at even that little indentation there. Very nicely done, and it just brings character into the car. I love the taillight design, especially even the way it wraps around, because you know, like on the Kia Stinger, it's got that little finger reflector design. I like the way this has some like flow to it. Full LED, obviously, everything LED. The G80 badge, that 3.3 liter turbo. That means T, it doesn't mean Tuesday or Thursday. Turbocharged, quad exhaust, fully functional with a rear diffuser. This is rear wheel drive. That sounds good to me. Let's go ahead, pop the hood and see that power plant. All right guys, we got the hood popped on the Genesis G80. Love the engine cover, tastefully done with the turbo badge there. Like I said, 3.3 liter V6 twin turbo, 365 horsepower, 375 pound-feet of torque. It's all mated to an 8-speed automatic transmission, and we're taking all that power to the rear wheels. 0 to 60, 5.2 seconds, quarter mile in 13.8. And let's think about this for a second. Let's meditate on this. This car weighs 4,600 pounds. That's some potent speed, some potent numbers from this vehicle. Top speed, like I said, 135. MPGs, 17 in the city, 25 in the highway. And you know what? If you don't like this engine, you could go naturally aspirated V6 with less horsepower, or you could go the V8 route. I think the Sport is the best way to go, bar none. But why don't we go ahead, fire up this Genesis G80 and see what it sounds like. All right, guys, we're inside the 2020 Genesis G80 Sport. I know you've been dying to ask, Joe, how much is this? The way that this one sits is MSRP right around $56,000. But remember, give Rob a call, because I'm telling you, they want to find forever homes for these cars, and they are really giving some great discounts. Now, let's see what you get for the money, because I think it's going to blow your mind. To the door panels. First of all, that is full on carbon fiber. So you got carbon fiber trim. Love the silver, the aluminum speaker covers. I even love that lighter gray leather on the back of the door with the stitching, the contrast stitching, very, very tastefully done. Really, really sharp. And I think that it just screams high class. Now, when you get to the dash, soft material, carbon fiber just spilled all over this thing. Love the silver. I even love the way they take the hazard light switch and integrate the triangle right into the dash. That is really, really cool. 9-inch infotainment system, of course, Apple CarPlay, Android Auto. We can go through nice clear graphics. Nice and sunny in Ann Arbor, Michigan. I don't live in Ann Arbor, Michigan, so I don't know why it's showing me that, but very, very easy to navigate through. I need to put an SD card in there for navigation, but you have navigation. Nice aluminum style start-stop button. The AC controls are perfectly placed. Of course, in an upscale car, just like a Lexus and a Mercedes, you got to have the analog clock. You can even see the Genesis badge in there. Very, very nicely done. Obviously, ventilated seats, heated seats, stereo controls with a CD player. So get your MC Hammer out and pop it in there. And then look at this. Everything has covers, and it's a nice textured material. We open up this bad boy, wireless charging, USB, and an aux jack. Slides so effortlessly. Cup holders, you want some? There's your 2 cup holders. This is going to be controlling that 8-speed automatic. I like the leather, that nice aluminum looking finish. You do have drive modes with this G80, and then you also have an iDrive controller similar to BMW, where you could go through the different modes. This feels a little cheap, but overall still has a nice high level in here. Different cameras. You could go into your different camera views and whatnot. Very nicely done. Navigation, the whole 9 yards. Here's how you put on your ventilated seats and your heated seats. So that's really nice. A little tiny cubby here for some Tootsie Rolls. And then bombs away. Nice glove box with felt lining for your gold iPhone 13. A USB and a 12 volt and some empty bags. So you can save that for later. Nice soft leather. Let me show you the key fob. Very, very tasteful, good size, good weight. It's got the Genesis logo. You flip it over, there's your buttons. Very nicely done. Then these seats are wonderful. Love the leather, the stitch work. The light gray, it's gonna get dirty, but boy, does it look good right now. I promise you that. Full, obviously, electric assist and very nicely done. Headliner. You got a nice Alcantara microfiber suede headliner, that large panoramic roof. It's almost as large as the glass windows in the Empire State Building. And then my one zonk is this rear view mirror. It's not frameless, but I guarantee the 2021 model will have to have a frameless mirror. But other than that, looks great. Come on over to the business end. I'll show you behind the wheel of this Genesis G80 Sport. All right, guys, business time. Behind the wheel. I love the Genesis on the lower sill here. Very nicely done. You even have aluminum pedals, which is a nice thing to have, especially because it's a Sport. The seat has so many different positions. Very nicely done. Steering wheel, love the thickness, love the contrast stitching. Even the horn button looks good. A little bit of silver, easy to use thumb controls and whatnot. And then the instrumentation, it's backlit LED, looks really clean. You could go through a plethora of information in the center. That's a 7.2-inch screen. You do have heads-up display as well with this vehicle. I could keep toggling through. Really, really nicely done. You do have paddles. They're really, really plasticky feeling, and they're kind of on the small side, but they're there if you want to shift through your 8-speed automatic transmission. I got plenty of headroom. I even love the leather hood over the instrumentation with the same wonderful contrast stitching. But why don't we go ahead, check out the back seat and see how your passengers are going to love this G80. All right, guys, back seat time in the Genesis G80. Lots of space. I really feel like a king sitting back here, and a very smart king because of the value that you get from this Genesis G80 Sport. On the doors, you're still going to get a plethora of great materials, like carbon fiber, the light color leather, and then you get a nice sunshade that's built into the door. It is manual, but I'm glad that it's there. We come inside. I think it's so smart the way everything is just dark material on the back so your kids don't get peanut butter and jelly fingerprints all over the place. I'm gonna zonk these pockets. First of all, it's almost like the hand of Hercules keeping them closed. And then if you have something you don't want scratched, don't put in here because they're not felt lined. 2 AC vents, but what in the world is going on here? I'm gonna have to issue probably one of the biggest zonks in the history of Rady's Rides. No USB, no 12 volt, no home power source, not even a solar panel, nothing out of this rear center console. I do like the seating position though, and it does feel good. Let's see if there's anything in here. We flip this down. You do have a nice nice armrest if you want in cup holders. There's your cup holders. This is to raise and lower the rear sunshade, which I just did. Heated seats, but not ventilated seats, so I am gonna zonk that. Maybe the USBs are in here. Hello? No. So this is a pass-through into the trunk, but still no power supplies. You're gonna have to run everything from the front, which seems a little annoying, but I do love the two-tone leather. It's just, you know, they're gonna get dirty. You're just gonna have to keep them a little cleaner, but I love the felt. This wonderful suede, microfiber suede Alcantara material is wonderful back here. Why don't we go ahead and check out that trunk and see if we could find any USBs in there. All right, guys, time to check out how much space do we have in the trunk. Push the button. Of course, it's electric assist. A little slow, but you know what? Lots of space. I still don't see any USBs though. No USBs or 12 volts back here, but tons of room. And you do have that pass through there, which is really nicely done. And then at the end of the day, you need to close it. There you go. But why don't we go ahead? Let's take this G80 Sport for a spin. All right, guys, we're in the Genesis G80 Sport. Let's do a little bit of an acceleration test. I'm going to slow down here, and then I'm going to get on throttle. On throttle, that 8-speed drops down. We're off. 0 to 60 in 5.2 seconds is legit. Brakes, those massive calipers, getting on those rotors just like Hercules hands. Really, really smooth power delivery. You know, with a twin turbo V6, you're gonna get very, very smooth power. You're not waiting around for the boost to kick in. It hits low, it hits hard, and you're off like a rocket. Sitting in here, you're sitting in a lap of luxury. And I'm telling you right now, if I was to blindfold you while you were driving, A, you would get in an accident, but B, you would not be able to tell that you were in a Genesis. It feels like a BMW, an Audi, a Cadillac, a Lincoln, or whatever. It really, really does. And in many ways, it's better. Honestly, especially the price point. I mean, come on, let's get real. But very, very quiet in here. Pin drop quiet. I love all the finishes. The leather feels so good. The seats are so great. And looking out across the hood, great visibility. No matter where you're looking, it's great visibility. And this makes you say, heck no, I don't need an SUV. I want a Genesis G80. That's how I feel. That's how nice this thing rides, drives, and accelerates. I have it in sport mode. Great feedback from the throttle. Perfect weight to the steering. I'm still gonna stick on my zonk that these paddles are from like Fisher-Price. They're too small. The plastic is just, the feel of it's just horrible. I would like to see some better material there, and maybe on the 2021 G80, we will get that. We will have to wait and see. But this car wants to run. It's like you had your dog outside on a chain. Now the chain's off, this dog wants to just run and run. Let's see how we handle into this right-hand turn, a little on the faster side. Great feedback. Really, there's no drama. You got heads-up display, conveniently placed. It's cool because it's like got green for the digits in the speedometer, which is nice. A little different. I just wish it had maybe the tachometer, maybe a few other pieces of info. But on throttle again, drops down. Jeez, it puts you in the back of your seat pretty hard. And remember, this is no lightweight. We're talking about 4,600 pounds. But yet, you get up and you run like a champ. What else can I say about this car? I really think that they hit the nail on the head, and it's crazy to think that the 2021 is going to be redesigned, and everything that they learned here is going to be taken to the next level. Love it. All right, guys, driving along, very smooth. You could drive this car all day long, and you're still going to be as fresh as a daisy when you get to your destination. But just really a pleasure, and you can see just how far Genesis has come in such a short amount of time. It's almost mind-boggling. It's like what Hyundai and Genesis is doing to a lot of car companies is exactly what the Japanese car companies did to the American car companies in the 1970s. It's unbelievable what they're able to deliver. Do they have it perfect? No. But we're talking about this thing is pretty darn good. But hopefully this gave you a great overview of the Genesis G80 Sport for 2020. We're gonna go ahead and get back to Fitzgerald Hyundai and wrap this up. So I'll see you in a split second. All right, guys, another great time here at Fitzgerald Hyundai with this 2020 Genesis G80 Sport. Definitely gotta thank Rob and the rest of the crew, Dave. They're also accommodating here at this location. Well, what can I say? Genesis G80, is it a competitor for the big German brands and Cadillac and Lincoln and everybody else? I say, heck yeah, they have the style, they definitely have the value, and that inside is mind-blowing. But if these are the types of things that you want to see on Rady's Rides, leave a comment in the comment section. If you're new to the channel and you're on your way out, hit the subscribe button. I promise you it's worthwhile coming back for more. If you are a subscriber, thank you for being part of the Rady's Rides family. If you want to help us keep making great content just for you on the channel, click the link in the description, get yourself some Rady's Rides merch. Got to give it up to Big Guns McGee, Tom Moshner. He's had to redirect traffic here at the dealership just to get today's filming in. And that is the truth, Ruth. So thank you, Tom, for all your hard work. And just like always, guys, I'll see you on the next ride.